Hello, my beautiful, beautiful friend. Have you been feeling the overwhelm? Have you been feeling just down in the dumps, hot mess mom, out of control kind of life? Let me talk to you. I've been a mess. I've been depressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been to the bottom of the pits. I almost ended my life because, quote, motherhood got to be too much. But I realized a few things. For one, home management is not equivalent to motherhood. You can suck at one while excelling at the other. Okay, girl, I already had everything I needed to see the good in life in order to succeed, in order to thrive and find absolute joy, and so do you. You can be the calm in the storm. You can set the energetic tone for those around you, for your entire household. You hold more power than you've ever realized. You don't have to do anything. You get to. It is your privilege. It's an honor. It's a divine responsibility to be the queen of your home. It's not a burden. You're in charge. You're the ruler. You're the chaos coordinator. You're in control of how you show up in your own life, and you are the main character of your own story. You are surrounded by abundant blessings, not buried in burdens. You are in the exact right place, mama. You're the exact right mom for your kids. It's not a mistake that you were put together on this planet. Of all the moms across all time and space, it's your destiny, your legacy to be with that child. You have to stop. We have to stop this mommy martyrdom narrative. Misery loves its company, but so does excitement and joy. So let's get excited about motherhood again, about life. It's time for more than survival mode. It's time to rise. It's time to thrive. It's time for you to believe to your core that you are meant to bloom. Hey, mama. Summertime is almost over. It's time for back to school. Are we excited? I am so excited. And I'm not excited about sending my kids back to school and having them out of the house all day long. And I'm not. I'm so excited. We're doing homeschooling, and they only have one day a week where they go to a charter school. And I'm really, really excited for this new shift in season in our life. And I hope whatever method and concept you're using for school with your kids this year, I hope that you're equally as excited about it. And I hope they are too. Like, I really hope that I pray. I have a prayer in my heart. I'm getting emotional. But I have a prayer in my heart. And so such vibes for you, whatever it is that feels good for you to hear. I'm just sending it out there. I hope that your family is making all the right choices for your family, and that your whole family is just excited about the new season coming for you. I hope everyone is just equally as excited no matter what options you're choosing. Um, it's so beautiful. I'm just thinking how many people are just living the life that they want to be living a life that they're excited for. Is that you? I hope it's you. I really do. I really hope it's you. I hope that your relationship with your children is just thriving. I hope you're feeling really good about your kids. I hope you're feeling really good about the job you're doing as a mom. Okay? You're a good mom. I know you are. All right. We are at the end of summer. We are excited for back to school. How are things going at home right now with all the excitement of back to school? I'm not going to say stress of back to school. Do you know that to your nervous system, fear and excitement feel the same? And I started taking my fear and relabeling it as excitement. I've started taking the anxious energy and relabeling it as excited energy, and I feel different about it. It feels a lot more empowering and a lot more confident, a lot more exciting. Try that. If you're feeling stressed about back to school right now and anxious about it, you're stressed about the season you're entering or the one you're exiting, try relabeling that energy as excitement. See if that changes things. How can right now be exciting? It doesn't have to be fun, but exciting. Yeah? Are your kids triggering you right now? Let's be honest. Okay, I'm gonna get comfortable here. You get comfortable too. Buckle up, buttercup. Are you feeling triggered by your kids? Are your kids just being kids? But it's got you feeling super stressed and you probably maybe even yelling at them when they're just being kids with a lot of energy. I've been there, like this week. Yeah, I'm not talking just past versions of myself that always went to being triggered and angry and anxious all the time. I'm talking like this last week. I have done it this week. Oh my gosh, I wish I hadn't muted my microphone when my kid came in the room. He's so precious. My soon-to-be kindergartner just interrupted me to let me know that our rooster, we got like a baby rooster, a young rooster, a couple months ago. Like he was just old enough to tell he was a rooster, but my kid just heard him cock-a-doodle-doo for the first time. He had to come up and tell me. And his excitement was so precious. Oh gosh, I'm in love with being his mom right now. It's so cute. Um, I want you to have those feelings for your kid. I want you to recognize when your kid's doing adorable stuff all the time. I really do. But to think, I was just yelling at that kid to stop making noises with his mouth yesterday. Let's talk about how to handle being triggered by your kids. Number one, I don't want you to feel guilty when you have been triggered. I don't want you to feel guilty when you are triggered because guilt doesn't fix anything. It doesn't. It actually makes it harder, in my opinion, not scientifically. It probably is scientific though. I bet it is. We could research it. Let's do that. But in my opinion and my experience, having guilt over the way you've behaved actually creates a whole nother hurdle in the healing process. The guilt hinders your healing. The guilt holds you back from growth because now you're obsessing over what you did and you're obsessed with feeling bad for what you did instead of feeling empowered in your capability to do better next time. Got it? We're going to feel empowered in our capability to do better. Okay? When you yell at your kids, when they stress you out, when you are triggered, we're not going to allow guilt over our behavior and our action to come in. You can be apologetic. You can be sorry, for sure. I apologize to my kids every time. Every time I yell at them, I apologize. I make amends. We make it better. I tell them the way I behaved was not okay. I never meant to talk to them like that. That was not okay for me to talk to someone else the way that I talked to my own child. And I heal the relationship. And I take back my power in saying, I'm going to do better next time. You can't just say, I'll do better next time. You have to plan to do better and you have to take action now in order to do better. Because what happens when we're yelling, it's not a decision we're making. It's an impulse reaction, right? We're not sitting there calmly, our kids doing something annoying. We're not sitting calmly and making a rational decision to yell at them to fix the solution. We're not rationally deciding, you know what, I'm going to go spank my kid right now because it's the only thing I can think of. Well, no, not it's the only thing I can think of. We're not thinking, I'm going to spank my kid because it's what makes most sense right now. We're reacting with an angry action of yelling or spanking because we feel like it's the only option because we're not thinking it through, right? So how do we change this? The answer, as cliche as it is gratitude. Don't turn off the podcast. Don't change it. Okay? Let me tell you a little story. I was a very uptight, anxious, irritable mom. My anxiety always showed up as irritability. All right. I was constantly on edge. I'd fly off the handle. I really would. At the most slight minor inconvenience. Okay. And when my youngest kid was 1 year old, he climbed up on the counter and he broke the coffee carafe. Coffee is one of my favorite things. I don't get up in the morning without coffee. It is, I don't even have words. I love coffee. But I love my kids too, right? But sometimes Sometimes when it comes to making that rash decision in a moment's notice between coffee and your kids, what's more important? When your kid breaks the coffee craft and you think to yourself, there's no coffee tomorrow. Sometimes our vision can get clouded. Our judgment gets clouded. We kind of forget that the kid is more important than your coffee when you're in that fight or flight moment to make an impulse decision. Okay? But let's backtrack. That's a real life scenario. When my kid was 1 year old, he climbed up and he broke the coffee carafe. Let's backtrack 2 weeks before that. Okay? 2 weeks before this, I came up with an idea to stop yelling at my kids all the time. I chose to be the calm parent, and I chose to start removing myself from the situations that I wanted to react harshly towards. My kids were in a very high energy season. They were like just literally jumping on the furniture most of the time. At the time, let's see, I had a 1, 3, and 5-year-old. They were chaos. And I love them so much for it. They had a lot of energy, a lot of very annoying energy. And I was a little bit fragile. So I made that decision that I was going to change how I reacted to them being kids. And that I would remove myself from the situations. If I can't say anything nice, I'm not going to say anything at all. That was the mentality I took into my motherhood. So every time they started being really high energy, I started stepping outside on the porch for fresh air. And while I was out there on the front porch, I started doing deep breathing just to, clear my brain, clear my energy, clear the stress. And as I exhaled, I would envision the stress leaving my body. And then I started one other thing, which was thinking about how much I love my kids and why I love my kids, and dwelling on the positive things I could think of about them. I was practicing gratitude for them. Sometimes I'd even take my notebook outside with me and I would write down a list of things I love about my kids. When they were irritating me, I would think of why I love them. And after 2 to 3 weeks here, I changed my impulse reaction to them. So that now we go back to that time when my 1-year-old broke the coffee carafe. And I grabbed that kid, and my impulse was to kiss him and tell him how much I loved him. And I was flooded with an actual feeling of gratitude for him and his safety, that he was okay, he was unhurt. I didn't even care about the coffee carafe. I moved him to a safe location away from the broken glass, and I went and I cleaned up. And as I'm sweeping up the broken glass off the kitchen floor, it hit me. Wow, that reaction was out of character. I didn't scream at my kid for breaking the coffee carafe. This is a big deal. And it really was. And that is when I developed the firm belief that gratitude solves a lot of problems. Gratitude heals a lot of broken pieces in you. It really does. Gratitude is the answer to a lot of things. Choosing a positive mindset can change your reaction to the people you love. That sold me. That right there sold me. And now, that day, because we broke the coffee carafe, I got to buy a new coffee maker. And I bought one because buying a new carafe, it costs more to buy a new carafe than it did to buy a new coffee maker of the same one that I had, because it was a cheap coffee maker at the time. We got to upgrade our coffee maker, and I got one with a stainless steel carafe. So even if the kids dropped it on the floor, it's not going to break. And I would never, ever have to deal with that problem ever again. So good things can come out of negative experiences. And you can react positively to a negative experience. That can be your impulse. That can be your knee-jerk reaction to hug your kid, to kiss him, to love him. Instead of yelling, instead of freaking out. Because honestly, a broken coffee cup, it's not the end of the world. It's not that big of a deal. There's a time when I would have reacted like it was. There's been days recently where I would react where like it was. And the reason I've been on edge lately a little bit is because I have not been practicing gratitude for my kids because I got convinced in my head that I had it under control. I thought, well, I rewired my reactions. Now I don't have to practice gratitude for them all the time. And I stopped. And now I'm feeling irritable again. So, the lesson today: practice gratitude for your kids, even if you think you don't have to. This works on husbands too, and it works on bosses and jobs and houses that you don't really like very much. Like your house feels like it's falling apart and constantly a mess. Practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for whatever is stressing you out or making you feel absolutely crazy right now. Practice gratitude every time you feel triggered. And it's going to change the way your brain works. I would love to hear your stories about how gratitude has changed you. I really, really would. Okay? Here's, I want to know. Okay. You, okay. Okay. I'm trying to formulate a sentence. This is unexpected. This was not part of the plan to bring it up today. I want to bring you on my podcast. You listening. I don't care. You don't have to be a blogger or a podcaster or a business owner or anything. I want to bring you on to talk about how mental health practices have helped you in your life, have changed your life for the better. I want to hear your testimonial, your success story. I really do. Email me, hello@brittanyclarkson.com, and, make the subject podcast guest. I would really, really love to connect with you and hear from you. We can do an interview, or you can just send me the voice memo to have it come on the show, because I would love to share that I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one who this works for. I want to hear your mental health success stories. I really do. I would just love for that. Okay. So, all in all, we don't have to stay stuck in the patterns we're in right now. You don't have to keep responding the way you're responding. Number one, give yourself grace, because we respond the way we respond because that's what we're conditioned to do. And that's okay right now. But we know better than we do better. And right now, I just taught you how to do better. So take action, because nothing's going to change if you don't change, right? You can't just know that gratitude would solve the problem. You have to actually practice the gratitude to solve the problem, right? Let's go into the new school year with a new mindset, new mentality, with excitement instead of fear and anxiety. Let's be excited. We can do this. It's going to be the best year yet, right? And we're going to go into it with love and compassion and gratitude. Mama, you're so capable. You can do anything. You can do all things. You really can. And I really believe in you. And I am just smiling so big right now, visualizing how empowered you're going to be walking into the school year. How you're going to practice gratitude every time you're triggered by your kid, by the bus schedule, by the school supply list, by the out of stocks at the store when you're shopping the school supply list. We're going to go into it prepared, and we're going to go into it excited. Everything is an adventure. It's a challenge. Challenges are exciting. They're fun, right? You can't be a winner if you never face a challenge, right? We're going to win this year. This is winning. Hashtag winning. I'm sorry. All right, friend. You got this. I love you. Hey, Mama, do you feel like you are just floundering right now? Let's get your mindset right. Okay, are you excited? Are you excited for back to school? No. Are you stressed about it? Are you thinking of all the things you need to do that aren't nearly as important as nurturing your relationship with your child and self-care for yourself? Okay, mama, let's get our mindset realigned. And I'm talking about the Mindset Realign Challenge. You might remember that I've hosted this challenge live a handful of times in the past. Now it has been turned into a go at your pace 5-day mini course. And you can get it at blossomacademy.teachable.com/courses or find it in the description below. Um, this Mindset Realign Challenge will focus on getting intentional with every day. It will focus on setting goals. It will focus on setting your priorities right and doing less because, oh my gosh, it's really tempting to fill up your schedule right now, and you don't have to do that. You really don't. It's also going to help you make time for self-care, like real effective self-care that moves you forward and isn't just a pampering time. It's going to teach you how to use affirmations properly. It's going to get you to be mindful and to start paying attention to the way you think, overcoming your negative thoughts. Let's get our mindset right going into the new school year. Let's get excited instead of scared. All right. Again, it's in the description below. It is the Mindset Realign Challenge, and it's only $5. And thank you so much for listening to this episode today. Your involvement and your encouragement is so loved and appreciated. If you wouldn't mind doing one or all of the following tiny little favors for me, I would so greatly appreciate it. Okay, one, if you could make sure that you hit the follow button so you don't miss another episode, that's going to benefit you just as much as it does me, maybe more. Number two, if you could leave me a review down below, especially if you're listening to Apple Podcasts, that would be so appreciated. Literally, I cry over the reviews that I read. I love them so much. It makes me feel so deeply connected to you, and it helps others find my show by recommending it to new listeners every day. And number three, be bold, be brave, don't be stingy. When you know something, it's your responsibility to share it with a friend. So make it easy, share this episode with a friend, and if you choose to share it on Instagram, can you please tag me, because I would so love to get connected and to see it, at Britt Clarkson. All right, thanks friend, love you so much. Till next time.